Hello, I'm Erica, and this is Nori. She'll be 7 weeks coming up here in a couple of days. And we just wanted to start our YouTube channel and share our journey with everyone. This is my third baby. I have two daughters that are twins, and they're 8 years old. They're almost 9. Big break in between them. Honestly, I'm having such an amazing experience this time, so I just wanted to come on here and share my journey and hopefully build a community. So this is my first video, so I thought, why not share my journey about my birth story? Just to give you guys like a little bit of background. But when I had my twins, I had preeclampsia, which if you don't know, it's like high blood pressure in pregnancy. And most of the time you have to go ahead and deliver. So I had to take aspirin during this pregnancy to make sure I didn't get it. Luckily, I never got it, which was awesome. I was really worried about that. I will say I was very, very anxious throughout my pregnancy, just about giving birth and going into labor. I didn't naturally go into labor with the twins. I was induced, and they actually gave me the epidural before they gave me Pitocin. So I never actually knew what it felt to go into just natural labor. So I was super anxious about it. I had my raspberry leaf tea. I was making like drinks with that. I had my like 6 dates a day after, I think, was it 36 weeks or 35 weeks or something like that? That I think the dates helped. I can't lie. Not sure about the raspberry leaf tea, but I think the dates definitely helped. But let's get into the story about my birth. So my due date was January 30th, 2026. And she was born on January 26th, so just 4 days before my due date. When I hit 39 weeks, it was a Friday, and I went in for my 39-week appointment with my midwife, and she did a membrane sweep on me. So she went in and did some sweeping up in there. It actually didn't hurt. I was surprised about that because I had heard so many stories about women saying their membrane sweep like hurt like crazy, and it was just like the most painful thing they've ever felt. And I just didn't have that experience. Like, she did that and I was like, that's it? And she's like, yeah. But I felt the pressure of her doing it. I just didn't necessarily feel like pain, really. So that Friday, when I went in for my membrane sweep, she did it. As soon as she was done with it, she was like, you don't feel anything? You don't feel any cramping? And I'm like, no. And she's like, oh, man. Normally, like, people will feel cramping if they're gonna go straight into labor. And I'm like, oh, well, great. Now I don't think I'm gonna go into labor. But she did tell me that if I do start getting contractions within 48 hours of the appointment, then it was because of the sweep. So if I started to go into labor after the 48 hours, then it's not due to the sweep. That was Friday morning I got that. So I didn't feel anything all of Saturday. I walked a little bit, had my dates, had my raspberry leaf tea, was on my pregnancy ball, everything. Didn't feel anything. Saturday, my sister-in-law came over and we took the twins on a bike ride around the way. I didn't ride the bike, we just walked. But we walked. I did a bunch of curb walks. We were out there for probably like over an hour or so, doing curb walks, just walking. I still didn't feel anything. And that was like, midday on Saturday. And then Saturday evening rolled around at 11 p.m. Me and James were sitting here. James is my boyfriend, by the way. We were sitting here on our couch watching a movie or something, and I was like, oh my God, something hurts. And I kind of like went like that, and I'm like, ooh. And I felt something, and I'm like, am I about to go into labor? And James is like, oh my gosh, is this happening? And so we sat there, and maybe another 10 minutes goes by, and I get it again. And I'm like, oh my God. And then, we sit there for probably another hour every 10 minutes or so. Then we start recording it on the contraction app. James is like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed because he works evenings. Or actually that day it was a Saturday. I think he had got off work at 9, so that's why we were staying up late. So he was like, I'm gonna try to get some sleep just in case like you go into labor tonight. I'm gonna, go ahead and go to bed and see if I can get some rest before, the morning. So when I go to bed, I'm so sorry if you guys see my nails. This is horrendous. This is what it's like having a newborn. You don't go get your nails done. It's crazy. But anyways, so we went to bed and it was still going through the night. So I ended up calling labor and delivery I probably called them at like 1 or something because the app was telling me to call labor and delivery. And so I called them and they're like, okay, just keep monitoring, call us back when you reach this point. I think it was like when they're 5 minutes apart or something like that. Through the night, it was kind of like every 10 minutes and every 8 minutes and every 7 minutes, then 10 minutes again. And it was just kind of like all over the place. It wasn't like consistent. So I called labor and delivery again around 4 a.m. And then they were like, okay, come on in. We went in at like 5 in the morning. We're like 20 minutes away from the hospital. We got there, they checked me, and I am 2.5 centimeters. I'm like, okay, cool, but this hurts. And so they're like, but we're gonna send you home. And I'm like, what? So like, okay, I kind of had a feeling I was gonna get sent home anyways. But they were like, we're gonna give you some morphine if you like to help deal with the pain. Cause I had been up like pretty much all night. So I'm tired. Like I just wanna I wanna take a nap. They're like, okay, we'll give you some morphine to help you be able to go to sleep for a little bit. So I came home, I knocked out on my couch, and I woke up and I was still like getting some contractions, and they were pretty painful. Around 4-ish, me and James went on another walk, and at this point my contractions were like really painful. Like I wasn't walking through them, like I was stopping. I was like, ooh, he was holding me, he was hugging me. I was like, oh my God, this hurts so bad. What you doing, girl? You want your binky or no? No. Okay. Point. And then all of a sudden, I just remember walking and I felt something like down there. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I thought my water broke. So I had asked James, I'm like, hey, like, look behind me. Like, are my pants wet? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh, that's like so weird. I felt like my water broke or something. We come back inside. And mind you, I'm in pain at this point. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, I cannot wait until this is over. This is like so painful. I go in upstairs and I use the bathroom. I pull down my pants and there's just like blood and this thick mucus thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my mucus plug came out. And it was huge. It's like this big thing that comes out and it's like stuck to you as you're pulling down your underwear. I come out the room. My parents are here, by the way. My kids are here. James here. I'm like, oh my God, my mucus plug. My mom was like, okay, like, go hop in the shower. We're gonna go to the hospital. So I hopped in the shower. My mom's like cleaning my underwear for me, and like, James is like, oh my God, this is really happening. So then we go to the hospital. At this time, it's like 7 p.m. We go. They check me, and you guys will not believe what they said. They said I was still 2.5 centimeters. I had been at home laboring all day. I was exhausted. I was in so much pain. When they said that, I just started bawling. Like, I was crying so hard. I'm like, oh, it just hurts. It was so terrible. The doctor is like, okay, we're just gonna admit you for pain management, okay? We're not gonna send you back home. I'm like, please, like, I just need help. Mind you, this time, like, I really did want to try to have the baby without epidural. But honestly, I just got to that point where I was like, dude, like, I don't know if I can handle, it doesn't even feel like I can handle another contraction. So the fact that I'm only 2.5 centimeters and I had been laboring all day, I'm just like, what the heck? Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. They admit us, they get us into a labor and delivery room. Mind you, they're like checking us in, they're asking me to sign all these papers. I'm in labor, like full-blown labor. Like, I am in so much pain. I'm irritated because they keep on asking me all these questions that I feel like don't matter right now. So I signed all the paperwork. They're like, okay, we have some options for pain management. They gave me the rundown of options. The one that I thought sounded the best was giving me fentanyl first. But they said it only lasts up to like an hour. And so I was like, okay, maybe I just need that to just give myself a break so that I can like prepare myself for the rest of my labor contraction. They gave that to me. It helped for, I think, about 30 minutes. Like, I felt okay for like 30 minutes. Like, I could still feel the contractions. They just weren't as painful as before. 30 minutes goes by. I'm like, this is starting to gear up again. Like, ridiculous. Hi, baby. After the contractions started gearing up again, I was like, I can't do this. Like, and James kind of was like there to support me. He was like, it's okay. Like, I know you said you didn't want to get the epidural, but it's okay. Like, it's going to be okay. Mind you, I had a bad epidural experience with the twins. Like, when they put the needle in my back, I jumped. So, and the nurse anesthetist was like, don't do that. And I was like super scared, and it really hurt me. So I thought that I was gonna have that same experience with the epidural, and I was like genuinely like really afraid of it. So I ended up saying, okay, I'm just gonna get it. And the nurse anesthetist came in. It's like this like older like Russian lady. I was like, honestly, she looked like she knows what she's doing. Like, I'm just gonna get this. I did it, and James held me, and I was just squeezing his hands tight, and honestly, it was fine. Like, I was fine, and I felt so much better. I was like, thank goodness, like, I can breathe again. Gave me the epidural. I think it was around 10 p.m. So me and James got a chance to like rest. He got on the bed, he knocked out. I was kind of like lightly sleeping, like kind of more so resting my eyes. I think I was just anxious and nervous about everything. Like, I'm on bed about to have a baby. Like, I was just nervous. So I couldn't really like knock out. They came in and checked me about 1:30 a.m. They were like, oh, you're 8 centimeters. We were like, what? 8 centimeters? Mind you, I was just 2.5. So I'm thinking this is gonna be a slow process. James, I'm like, babe, call my mama. Like, you gotta get them up here, get your sister up here, you know what I mean? And so he called everybody, everybody's knocked out sleep. They're like, okay, we're on our way. So my parents bring the twins, and then James's sister comes, my sister-in-law. So they come up, the midwife put me in like a position on my side, and she put like a wedge ball like in between my legs to like open my like legs up. And so I was like that for until they came back. I think they were gonna give me 2 hours. I think I called them in right before 2 hours came, maybe like an hour and a half or so. I called the nurse in, and I'm like, I'm starting to feel a little bit of pressure. It's not pain, but I just feel pressure. They take a look, and they're like, oh my God, her head is right there. They're like, her head is like about to come out. And so they're like, all right, let's do this. So the midwife gets everything ready, the whole shebang happens. I pushed her out in less than 2 minutes. Like, my birth video is 2 minutes long. She just kind of came right out. Her head was kind of small, they said. But yeah, I pushed her. I just pushed her, and she was out in like a couple pushes. It was not a hard thing at all. It was interesting because she didn't have a lot of like vernix on her. She was just like, they like cleaned her off for like 2 seconds and then put her on me, and she was like clean. It was like really bizarre. I was like, I've never seen a baby come out clear like that. I don't know if it was a good thing, but anyways. Also, when I had her, I didn't have a lot of blood come out like at all. Like, it was a very like clean birth. And that's what my midwife said. And then she said that like my placenta was like really pretty. That's what she was saying. She was like holding it up for everyone to see, and we have a picture of it. She's like, this is a beautiful placenta. And it was interesting. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe she's here. 9 months of, 9 to 10 months of waiting for this special moment, and it's finally here. And then they put her on me for a bit. Me and James wanted them to put her on me for a little bit, and then for him to have a moment with skin to skin too. So she was probably on me for maybe 15 minutes or so, and then they transferred her to him. And I was just really happy for him because this is his first baby. He was just like in awe. Like it was super beautiful. I got videos and pictures of everything. And it was just a beautiful experience. My dad and my twins came back in the room, and I just had my family there, and it was just nice. They transferred me over to the mom baby unit, and I went there, and that's when things kind of changed. Yeah. So, I'm bleeding, and they're like, oh, if you end up bleeding more than this amount, please let us know. Everything's going smooth. A couple hours in, I start getting up to go to the restroom. I can get up now. And I was like, dude, I think I'm bleeding like way too much. Like what? It was just like blood all in the toilet, blood soaked through the pads, coming off on the underwear they give you, and blood all over my gown, my bed chucks that was on there. It was just like blood everywhere, and I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be bleeding this much. I called the nurse in, she comes in, she's like, oh yeah, you're hemorrhaging. She calls the doctor in. They ended up like doing an ultrasound right in front of me. Mind you, I'm an ultrasound tech, so I understand what they're looking at and everything. They're doing an ultrasound on me, and she goes in there. She has this tool, and she starts scraping my uterus. She's scraping all the blood out. It was crazy. You could see it on the freaking ultrasound. Then they're like, we're gonna do this vacuum thing. Mind you, they put me on fentanyl the whole time they did this, and I was just like chilling. Like I was tripping on anything. They put this like vacuum suction thing inside of me, suctioned all the blood out. The suction had to sit in me, I think, for 4 hours. And then hopefully after that, it would be fine. So after 4 hours went by, the blood actually did come out, and I wasn't hemorrhaging anymore. So it worked. I just remember the doctor doing all this. She had blood all over her. I was like, dude, mind you, she wasn't even like gowned up or anything. Like she was just in scrubs. She had blood all over her arms, her bare arms. I was like, are you okay with this? Like, this is crazy. You just got my bare blood all over your arms. Like, whatever. I guess you guys know my medical record. But after that, everything was fine. They took really good care of me at the hospital. I felt very fortunate about my experience that I had there. I had great nurses. And yeah, and then we spent another night there. She was super easy to deal with, honestly. She's honestly just a great baby, just in general. Like, I don't really have that many issues with her. The main issue that a lot of people have is the baby's sleep. And I feel like she sleeps good, so I feel like it just makes her like a good baby. Yeah, that's my birth story. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna start posting more. I own like an ultrasound studio, and I'm on maternity leave, but honestly, I don't want to go back. I have some employees that work there, and they're doing great. And I'm just gonna see how long I could just stay home and be with her, and yeah, just relish in these baby moments with her. So I just want to be home. I think I'm gonna just start making some content. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my Instagram. It's _ Ari Jordan, _ ERIJORDAN. So I've posted some videos on there. I have the same name, I believe, on TikTok, or it may not be an underscore, something similar. But yeah, follow me on all socials, and I'm gonna get into it. We're gonna do some mom content with her, with the twins, the older girls. I think I want to start like making cooking content, lifestyle content, just everything. I'm really happy in my life, and I want to share it with others, and you know, give some motivation out there, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'm really excited to share my journey with you all, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. I'm gonna show you guys Nori. She's so cute. My baby, she's so sleepy. Hi, baby.